Story 1. I, 26 female, have an older sister, 28, with whom I'm still nursing a past grudge. When we were in high school, she started dating my first love. She knew I liked him, and not only she didn't care one bit, she even rubbed it into my face that she got the guy that I wanted. Worst of all, she didn't even like him that much, because she ended up cheating on him with a college freshman. So to me, the only reason she even seemed to have dated him was to spite him. Back into the present, my sister's now married to her husband, 31, a different guy from both of the previously mentioned ones, whom she found out was cheating on her a couple of months ago. Their marriage has been in shambles since then, but my sister's still trying to save it. Honestly, I can't say that I'm feeling sorry for her at all. All of us went to one of our cousin's baby showers, and there, my sister was publicly requesting her husband to let her check his phone. That started an argument between them where her husband asked why he's never allowed to check her phone as well, and my sister said some crap about she's never been unfaithful unlike him. Something in me just couldn't allow that lie to go by, and I seriously asked her, "You're joking, right?" She asked me what the heck I was talking about, and I reminded her of how she dated my first love back in high school, and how she ended up cheating on him just like her husband did to her. A huge circus followed after where her husband accused her of being a cheater herself and hypocrite, and where my sister tried to argue that it was different, and it didn't compare to what he did to her. Other family members tried to break up their argument afterward, but then my sister came at me yelling that I'm a sad, pathetic excuse of a human being who has nothing going on in her life than to stir the pot in other people's lives, and I ended up cursing her pretty badly as well. Safe to say that cousin's baby shower has been ruined. The atmosphere in our family has been incredibly awkward since then, and my sister and her husband haven't spoken to me since that incident. My parents are blaming me for the fact that my sister will probably not show up at our Christmas dinner and for making the atmosphere in our entire family. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Seriously. Are you still angry about something that happened a decade ago when you were a teenager? Big deal, your sister dated your first love. Now her very real adult marriage is having issues, and you want to shame her publicly. It's not even her first love. It's her first unrequited obsession with a guy who never thought about her. This is wild. I can't imagine being 26 years old and still being angry that my sister dated a guy I had a crush on in high school. First love, Elmao. She ruined her cousin's baby shower bringing this up. To be still holding a grudge about it a decade later is just ridiculous. Move on from it already. Lol, not the idiot. I mean, you're wrong for contributing to ruining your cousin's baby shower. You should apologize to your cousin for that, and get her a great gift to make up for it. You only told the truth. If your sister doesn't want the family to butt into her marriage, then she shouldn't be making a spectacle at family gatherings. I think everyone's the idiot here. Regarding the high school guy situation, you never claimed your guy or anything. It sucks that your sister did that and then cheated. Teenagers are super messy. But she couldn't have stolen something from you if it wasn't yours. I don't know how trauma-inducing this was for you, but if it's just a grudge, then it's just a grudge. Let it go, Chief. It's not going to do any good for you. Regarding the marriage, he cheated on her. For someone so adamant on accusing your sister of cheating in this one instance, you're super lenient towards a confirmed cheater. That makes me think you despise cheating when it's convenient for you. They could have ruined their own marriage on their own accord, but you had to step in and make it about yourself. If you really want to make your life's purpose stirring the pot just for your sister, then go ahead. You can ruin her life for the next 60 years without ever thinking of your own happiness. My stepdaughter is in high school and has a best friend she's known since they were babies. My wife and I have 2 children together. My stepdaughter's best friend has a birthday in December. We're all aware of her birthday because we attended every year. This year, my side of the family planned to take a huge overseas Christmas vacation, which required us to ask the friend's mother for the party date. We planned and bought our tickets to leave 2 days after the party, so my stepdaughter wouldn't miss it. Monday, My stepdaughter came home and told us that the party day was moved to accommodate some of her friends' family members who decided to fly in for it at the last minute. The problem is that the date was moved to one well after our departure date. Here's the problem. 1. We're not made of money, so for us to change the flight and hotel for our family will more than double the cost. 2. It will be a 2-week overseas trip, so I already have my vacation approved and can't change it. If we fly out after the party, my vacation will be cut down to only a week. 3. I only get to see some of my siblings at Christmas, so if I don't go this year, I won't see them until next year. 4. My entire side of the family planned our vacation around the party date months ago. My original solution was to tell a friend's parents to keep their original date since my family planned around their schedule. My wife immediately shot down that idea. My second solution was for us to leave as planned, but change only my stepdaughter's ticket since she's on break and is old enough to fly alone. My wife shot that down too since she's also friends with the other mother and wants to attend the party. My wife's solution is for us to just fly out after the party. I don't like this idea at all because of the added cost and lessening time. Our talk turned into arguments that lasted all week. Last night my wife put her foot down and said that we weren't missing the birthday party, to which I replied that she wasn't missing it. I told her that I was flying out with our 2 kids as planned, whether or not she was on the flight. That took our argument to the next level, to the point where my stepdaughter called me an idiot, so I tried to ground her, at which point my wife said I couldn't because she was justified. Everything is a mess now. Not the idiot. The best solution. You and your other kids fly as planned and let your wife and daughter plan how they pay and organize their changes. I can't understand why your wife prefers a kid's birthday party to a vacation with your family. So, in your daughter's and wife's eyes, not only does your daughter's friend take priority over your whole family, but your daughter's friend's extended family takes priority over your extended family. Your daughter and your wife are being massive brats here and are being utterly disrespectful to your family. This right here. Dude, you already planned your vacation around their party, so you shouldn't have to change it to accommodate the party. I don't get how a birthday party and an overseas family vacation are anywhere near the same. You came up with several viable solutions, and your wife is being unreasonable by not listening to any of them. Anywho, take the other kids and stick to the vacation plans. Your wife may or may not join you. At this point, her staying home would be a good thing. My mom died when I, 26 male, was 6. My half-sister was 2 at the time, and her dad wasn't in her life. My dad took full custody of me. He shared custody with mom when she was alive. My half-sister was sent to a foster family because none of her dad's or mom's family were fit to take her, and they couldn't get in touch with her dad. I can't say I ever really missed her. I knew about her, but I didn't really love her back then, so I never had any guilt for being raised in a loving home with my dad and stepmom while she was in foster care. We had 2 visits arranged by CPS in the first year after mom died, but then those stopped. She reached out to me a year ago via direct messages, and we've communicated a bit through there. She found my dad through social media recently and told him he was disgusting, and her not being his shouldn't have meant separating us and not caring about her. She told him a real good dad would have taken her because they loved me and couldn't stand the thought of an innocent little kid in foster care. She told him she would celebrate when he died and would turn me against him if it was the last thing she did because I needed my eyes opened. I found out about what happened and told her that if she was going to try and turn me against my dad, then she wouldn't need to talk to me again. She went through how crappy she felt he was for letting her go into foster care and how a good person, a good dad, and a good man would have saved her. She told me I should hate him for what he did. I told her I didn't care that he refused to raise her, that it wasn't his job. She asked me how I could be so cruel and cold about this, because we're siblings and I should adore her and want the best for her. She kind of lost it in DMS honestly, so I muted her for a while, and she kept sending them calling me all sorts of names. Am I the idiot? Edit. My parents were not together when my mom died. My dad never had any part in raising my half-sister. He was never in the same household with her. I was still a baby when my parents broke up. By the age of you and your sister, I guess that event occurred in this order. You were born, your parents split, 50-50 custody agreed upon. Your mother got pregnant with another man and had your sister. Your mother died, correct? Honey, your dad had zero responsibility to take in your sister. That was the responsibility of your sister's biological father, his family, or your mother's family. You are not the idiot. As an ex-foster youth, I know how horrible foster care can be, and if this is how she's reacting, I can't imagine her life in foster care was pleasant. She needs therapy. If she's still under 21, it's free for her. She may be mad at the life she never had, but she needs to accept what she did experience and know that neither you nor your dad had a choice in where her life ended up. I hope you can find some peace though, P, and I hope she can come to terms with the cards dealt to her. I empathize with your half-sister. She has every right to be angry, but she's angry at the wrong person. Perhaps because your father is easier to find and blame than the maternal family that failed her. If you want to help her, really help her, steer her to expert help. You aren't her fairy godmother. You don't have a magic wand to make everything better for her. She's wasting energy demanding that you do that for her. I, 34 female, have one daughter, April, a young grammar schooler, from a previous relationship. She is autistic, but has improved a lot since starting the various kinds of therapy I keep her in to help her cope. She still struggles with sensory issues, especially with her clothes. She only feels comfortable in very soft cotton fabric or similar texture. Anything else and a meltdown soon follows until she can change. She looks so genuinely miserable, so I have no problem just letting her wear the type of textured fabric she wants. I know because of her autism, it feels like a much bigger deal to herself than me or anyone else. Besides this fabric issue, she's well behaved about getting dressed and anything else. I've been dating Dan, 34 male, for a little over 2 years. He recently proposed, and we've just begun the wedding plans. He has no children of his own. Instead, he has a whole army of nieces and nephews. I've gotten along with his family very well. They've all been very kind to my daughter and me. This year is the first time we'll spend Christmas with Dan's family. They all spend 1 or 2 weeks at his grandparents' huge ranch and home. My mother-in-law has also been kind, but she's a bit of a perfectionist. I've seen her spend hours nitpicking things to meet her standards. Dan says she's been this way his whole life. She's tried to take control of our wedding choices a couple of times, what flowers, decor, venue, etc. But luckily Dan is pretty good at telling her to back off. She recently asked to include April in a family Christmas tradition. After they all go to church on Christmas Eve, they gather up all the kids under 10 years old to take a group photo. Of course, they take many others of the whole family, but they've taken this specific photo every Christmas for 10+ years. They say it'll be nice to look back and see who all the little kids were for each Christmas year. I didn't fully understand it at first, but it sounds sort of cute. The issue is that all those girls and boys wear matching Christmas outfits. The boys are in tiny little Christmas suits, while the girls are all in those black velvet and plaid dresses you see little girls wear everywhere during Christmas. My mother-in-law even said she had one hand-me-down from one of the older nieces that would fit April perfectly. I took it home and got April to try it on. She hated the texture and was miserable, stretched and itchy within a minute of wearing it. Even with the short time she had it on, she started to have a meltdown. I quickly took it off. I returned to my mother-in-law and said that while I appreciated her offering the dress, it wouldn't work for it. I said I'd look around local stores and online to get a dress that looks the same or has the same color theme. It'd have to be tolerable for April to wear. My mother-in-law got upset and said any dress other than the design she originally showed me wouldn't match with all the other kids. She was also a hard no on the different outfit, same color idea. She said it would ruin the perfect balance in the picture. I tried to explain April's autism and how genuinely distressed she gets, but my mother-in-law didn't listen and cut me off. She said my daughter is incredibly spoiled if I can't even force her to wear an uncomfortable dress for one night in a snarky voice. She also hinted she thinks April's diagnosis is an excuse to let her wear or do whatever she wants. She rolled her eyes and said once my daughter grows up, she'll get a hard hit from reality, and that I should show her some tough love to help her learn that you don't always get to do what you want. Her rudeness upset me, and I said that since my daughter wouldn't be able to match with her cousins perfectly, she doesn't have to be in that certain photo. She has such a fun time, even just hanging around the older cousins. I doubt she'll even notice or care. I felt a bit petty and hurt, so I ended with a quip about how I'd always thought those dresses weren't all that cute anyway. This is probably for the best. Mother-in-law huffed dramatically, and I went home. When I talked to Dan, he sided with his mom. He said she was trying to find special ways to include April in the family, and my refusing to participate was basically throwing the courtesy she offered right back in her face. He says I could have had April in a fabric she likes for the whole day and night, then change her into the itchy dress for 10 minutes to snap a couple of photos. The thing is, I know if I knowingly force her into something she doesn't want to do, she'll be stressed and paranoid the rest of the trip. She won't be able to enjoy the whole experience quite as easily. If she starts to feel overwhelmed, which is a very high possibility with the dress and big crowd of family members, she'll probably start a very stressful meltdown. It's difficult to console her, and I felt like it would put a damper on the whole celebration. Honestly, I would have been okay with her not being in that one photo. I understand that my mother-in-law loves things to match perfectly, and how a different outfit could be a bit jarring in the photo. There will be dozens more April will have the opportunity to be in. My mother-in-law's attitude over the whole thing really put me on edge and made me a bit rude during the conversation. After talking to Dan, I'm wondering if I was too short and should have just sucked it up and worked harder to accept and compromise with my mother-in-law's attempt to include us in the family. It's always just been my daughter, and I'm not entirely used to family drama. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your daughter does not need to be put through that for something as basic as a photo. Apparently to mother-in-law, the balance of a photo is more important than a child's real discomfort. Your daughter not participating in the photo is the simplest solution. Mom, you will have to be your daughter's advocate many more times. Society does not take autism seriously. It is a disability, and you will tune into this kind of idiot plenty more often. Since Dan supports his mother in this, Op must cancel the wedding now. He will be a crap stepfather who won't give a damn about April's medical needs. The problem is that the mother-in-law is incredibly spoiled. She's used to getting whatever she wants. Once mother-in-law grows up, she'll get a hard hit from reality, and right now she should be shown some tough love to help her learn that you don't always get to do what you want. Your mother-in-law is projecting onto your child. She's so spoiled she thinks she can demand other people to put things on their bodies just because she wants it. Because she's spoiled and rotten and the rest of the family enables her selfishness, she thinks everyone should do what she says when she says it. Don't harm your child for someone like this. Mother-in-law isn't trying to include everyone. Mother-in-law is the aesthetic mom everyone hates on the internet because they see children and other people as fashion accessories, not entirely independent humans. Thank you for watching.